bylaws
of the McCall Neighborhood Center.
of the McCall Neighborhood Center.
And this I promise
And this I promise
to faithfully
to faithfully
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your new board members. We're asking you to please support their endeavors to promote our organization. Thank you.
Next, we will have the introduction speaker by Ms. Patricia White.
Good afternoon, everyone. So wonderful to see all of you today with your beautiful and handsome faces. We are so glad that you all are here and that you came out today for this big service of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I have the honor of introducing our speaker, GreggDDavis, attorney and counselor at law. GreggDDavis is a native El Pasoan, a graduate of UTEP and the University of Denver Strong College of Law. She has been a Texas lawyer since 1991 and was an assistant county attorney in El Paso from 1993 to 1997, focusing on domestic violence prevention, mental health, and protection of children, elders, and the disabled. Thereafter, she served as attorney and executive director of the Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services, which is an immigration legal aid clinic serving indigent and low-income families within the Catholic Diocese of El Paso. She also served as an associate judge with the El Paso Municipal Courts and is the first African-American woman to serve in the El Paso courts. That alone deserves a hand clap. In January 2006, she joined the El Paso County Domestic Relations Office, returning to a family-focused law practice, and was the chief legal officer for enforcement, supervision, and access facilitation until March 2015, when she opened her own private practice as attorney and counselor at law. Her practice encompasses family and probate law. I'm so sorry about this, Mike. Her practice encompasses family and probate law, immigration policy, and research. Is that right, Greg? Am I using the wrong one? Okay, I'm gonna turn this one off. Okay, can you still hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, sorry about that. Well, we got to the bottom of that one, so it'll be good for you. Ms. Davis' family history is equally as impressive as her career. She is the daughter of noted African-American jazz singer Dolores Del Rio Harding Davis and missile engineer and logistics expert Edmund A. Brooke Davis. Her parents defied the Texas anti-miscegenation laws of the 1950s to be married. Their relationship framed the life of Ms. Davis and her brothers and sisters, who were children of the civil rights era and were constantly, what am I doing? Oh, you can't hear me out well? Okay, so do we use the other mic? Oh, see, it takes a village. Thank you, everybody. Okay, all right. Talking to the microphone. Okay, how's that? All right. All right, so I'm almost finished anyway. Their relationship, her parents' relationship framed the life of Ms. Davis and her brothers and sisters, who were children of the civil rights era and were constantly challenged by their parents to remain faithful to the truths and justice and social change to make the world a better place. For over 10 years, Ms. Davis was a weekly columnist for the El Paso Times and has been published widely
in legal journals, conferences, and Catholic publications throughout the United States. She is and has been a member of numerous professional associations, including the El Paso Family Bar Law Association and the El Paso local branch of the NAACP. Ms. Davis has received numerous accolades and recognition for her work in the community, including the El Paso branch of the NAACP, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Humanitarian Award, the Civil Rights Award from the City of El Paso, and the LULAC Lucy G. Acosta Humanitarian Award, just to name a few. So please join me in welcoming our speaker of the hour, who is an educator, advocate, champion, and supporter of those who are less fortunate. Ms. Lisa D. Davis, attorney and counselor at law.
I'm good. I'm loud. I'm used to yelling. Yes, ma'am. Before I start, I'd like to ask a certain gentleman to put his phone down for a moment and stand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Donald Williams, if you don't already know him. Former judge, the first African-American judge to serve in El Paso. Both an associate municipal court judge, and then an associate family court judge. Thank you, Donald, for your service. I also would like to recognize a civil rights activist in her own right, and the daughter of a civil rights activist who worked tirelessly to improve conditions for Black El Pasoans. Former judge, retired judge, Linda Yi Chu. My big sister, my mentor. Judge Chu served on the 327th Judicial District Court, and during the most critical time of our court system in recent history, she was the chief administrative judge for the Council of Judges who got us through the COVID pandemic so that we could keep the courts working and process people, especially those who were detained and deprived of their liberty. Thank you, Judge Chu, for your service. Brothers and sisters, family, and friends, calling on the ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand, and giving glory to God who brought us to this day, we gather once again in this sacred space, this McCall's Neighborhood Center sacred space, to reflect upon the prophecy and continuing invitation of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to make this nation a more just and perfect union. This triduum of celebration this year began on Saturday. It began on Saturday with the El Paso Branch NAACP first jazz brunch. The El Paso Branch NAACP is the oldest branch in the state of Texas, founded, some say, between 1912 and 1915, but the official date is 1914. And it was founded so that there would be a platform from which Dr. Nixon's claim for voter rights could be carried by the national NAACP. On Saturday, we were led into reflection by Pastor Karen Dykes, Esquire, about the role we are all called to play in building and becoming members, active members of the beloved community that Dr. King envisioned and that Dr. King served. And Pastor Dykes spoke to us and said, "What am I called to do now?" On Sunday, we gathered in worship in Mount Zion Baptist Church, in the 33rd annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. citywide community celebration, where we listened to the call of Rabbi Ben Zeidman to an inclusive love that considers the needs of all races, ethnicities, and religions, reminding us of the ecumenical nature and responsibility of inclusiveness in the work of social justice and civic change. It takes all of us to engage in the continuing mission of equity and inclusion in this community, in this nation, and in this world. And today we gather here, again, a sacred space in this repository of the collection of our ancestral history in the border Southwest, in a neighborhood which at one time represented the segregation of Black El Paso. This was the only neighborhood where a Black family could purchase real estate because it was on the edge of town and it was next to a cemetery. And then many of our elders and ancestors were pushed out of their homes when the state of Texas decided to build Interstate 10 and moved us out of the only community we knew. And so families then were only allowed to buy property in ranch land, where we are next to the dairies and the budding petroleum station. A lot of people don't know about that part of our history because no one talks about it. And then many families, including my family, were pushed out of ranch land when the El Paso Community College, started by one of my mentors and a great civil rights activist himself, George McCall, but nonetheless, started a community college district, which became a governmental entity, which took through eminent domain our homes, the home that I first lived in after my birth in 1961. And Black El Pasoans were not allowed to move north of the freeway. That's why so many of our community leaders went to Bel Air and to Riverside and to Jefferson. Greg Allen, may he rest in peace and glory, grew up with my cousins, the Serenas. The Berries were pushed out of their neighborhood and moved to ranch land, my other cousins. My family was able to move north of the freeway only because my daddy was white. And by the way, yes, my daddy was white, but he was a Q. And he was the first white bossless of Sigma Tau forever. But my daddy did, you know how you hear the stories about you buy the house, then move the family in? That was what we did. So my daddy would go to the house, buy the house, and then move us in to these horribly racist neighborhoods by Alvin Park. We went back to Germany and came back again and had to do that all over again to move into our neighborhood by Eastwood Middle School. Nobody talks about this. But it's here in the repository of our history, the McCall Neighborhood Center, the center of the beating heart of Black El Paso. Yes, this triduum of reflection is important to recount, to understand, to remind ourselves of who we are and where we came from. But this is the first time that we have had a triduum of celebrations in honor of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hopefully it's not the last. But there were many faces missing from the conversations that led up to this, and there was lots of conflict. Why are they having an observance? We're having the observance. Well, we've always done it. Why do they want to get involved? And how come nobody called me? Many voices were missing. Many components have been missing. Hopefully, this 3-day celebration is the start of a mighty work as we begin to unify and open up our community. Now, Karen Dykes, and I wish she were here, but Xavier has his 2-year-old checkup today, so she couldn't be here. Karen Dykes energized us with her message. Rabbi Ben focused our spiritual energy, but I'm not here to make you comfortable. And those of you who know me know that I do not make anyone comfortable. I challenge, and I question, and I push. We gather in a time when our community and our republic is in danger. We gather in a time when our republic is in danger by the forces of evil and destruction that would tear apart our democratic system of government. We gather in a time when the threat of ethnic and religious scapegoating threatens to undo the very work of civil rights and social justice that Dr. King and the other leaders of the civil rights movement worked to move forward. As Rabbi Ben mentioned yesterday, the kingdom is not in the here now. We cannot sit. It is also in the not yet. It is a continuing work. This eschatological reality is one that is breaking upon us today in a very meaningful, real, and threatening way. I cannot stress this enough, ladies and gentlemen. I have been saying this since 2000, when they started to destroy the educational portion of the civil rights legislation. When I taught a class at UTEP where only 4 students attended to go through the history of the civil rights legislation and how it was being pulled back. The work of civil rights and social justice continues today. For too long, my generation, the children of the civil rights era, have rested on our laurels, and we have reaped the benefits of the movement. Yes, we had our struggles, and we had to break through glass ceilings, and we've had to deal with people who wanted to keep us in our place, and believe me, I have suffered from that. But we also benefited from equal opportunities in education, in the military, the right to vote, civic participation, with many protections that are now enshrined in our laws. Yes, we've had our individual struggles, but we benefited. We benefited economically. How many of us are retired military and have pensions? But many of our young people don't have those same opportunities now. Since the late 1980s, all of the movement toward the more perfect union has been frittered away piece by piece and has brought us to a crisis moment in our nation where too many of us are comfortable to sit and not participate and to pretend as though it doesn't affect us. We've seen our right to vote restricted by gerrymandering and voting restrictions across the country, but it doesn't really impact us in El Paso, does it? We can vote anywhere, anytime. We got early voting, we got voting citywide. So we really haven't noticed the struggle of the people of Houston and the laws that prohibit anyone from giving a bottle of water to an elder standing in line to vote, sometimes for hours, or to transport people to the polls. But that doesn't affect us, does it? We all have cars. In the past few years, we've seen a Supreme Court declare that equality has been arrived with the election of President Barack Obama. And the diversity of people elected to the House of Representatives and to Congress and who serve in government offices tells us that we don't need voting rights protections anymore. But it doesn't really impact us in El Paso, does it? I'd like to give a shout out to Sissy Bird. Is she here? Sissy is relentless. She's in the back there, typical Sissy, hiding in the back. Sissy is relentless. Not only is she the president, there she is. Not only is she the president of the Black El Paso Democrats, she continues to try to carry our voice forward into local government by running for office. Thank you, Sissy, for doing what some of us would never have the courage to do. We are witnessing the obliteration of our history in this country. The history of our community's contributions to this nation. The educational system is being dismantled to remove our truth, the original sin of America, from our history. But it doesn't really affect us, does it? Because our kids are all grown. So we don't do anything. We don't really vote, do we? El Paso's last election, 12% of registered voters turned out to vote for city officials. We live in a time when a wannabe autocrat and a tyrant and not yet convicted felon has given permission to people to use heinous language of exclusion against us and violence and against other ethnic and religious communities. But it doesn't really affect us here, does it? Because we're safe in El Paso. That's why we all live here, right? That's why my parents settled here. Mixed family in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Not going to Alabama. We'd all have been strung up. Right, we're safe, and it's cheap to live here. We live in a time when a woman is no longer to make medical and life decisions within her family and her medical providers. Decisions that would best serve her needs and the needs of her children and her family, because government has restricted those rights and have undone rights that have been enshrined in law for over 40 years. We live in a time when government and elected officials lie with impunity, calling lies alternative facts, and where most people get their information and education about government, society issues from social media instead of doing the work. The aspirational goals of becoming the beloved community is based upon a love and awareness and commitment that transcends our differences. But we must now focus at the work at hand. We cannot rest upon our laurels anymore. To continue to build the beloved community that our ancestors and elders strived for, bled for, and died for, calls upon each and every one of us to carry the water now, to put into action the question, what am I called to do now? It starts with me. This work is not for our individuals' self-aggrandization. It is not to promote ourselves. It is not to go to meeting after meeting where nothing is accomplished and nothing is planned. It is not to be used to increase our own footprint in the community, our own visibility, or our own economic well-being. We must overcome our ideas of exclusivity. It is time that we begin to work together as Black organizations in El Paso as one community. Many of us belong to several organizations, and never shall the twain meet. It is time that we begin to welcome and include and to give power and freedom to young adults and teenagers of our community and to support them in their initiatives. We have talented young people who are excluded from participating because we would rather use our friends It is time that we stop excluding people who have different ideas about what needs to be done in the community. Some of us don't know. Some of us aren't from here. Some of us don't hear what these children hear and see what they see. We cannot claim to have the corner market on what needs to happen. These people have a different lens. It is time that we stop pushing them away. It is time that we stop gossiping about one another and creating chaos and conflict within our organizations, and chasing away people with wonderful talents who only want to serve. It's time we stop talking about what we need to do and start to listen to the voices of the people that we claim we are called to serve. It is not enough to have never-ending fundraisers and banquets and luncheons and to give scholarships to our own children and no follow-up support to help them as they finish their education. It is time that we begin to have dialogue sessions with the community. Not just us here, we're always talking. But we need to hear from the people living in public housing in Northeast who can't get their houses repaired. We need to be talking to the children and the parents of the children who are bullied in the schools, and our African American teachers who are bullied out of their jobs. We don't need to go and tell them what they need to do. We need to call them together and let them talk. Let them tell us what the issues are. And let us train ourselves and educate ourselves so that we know how to pull in resources to help them with their struggle. It's time that we have listening sessions with veteran civilians and service members because they are struggling in the military system with discrimination. But we need to listen to them and get them to the resources they need to press forward their legal claims. We cannot pretend that we know what they need to do. It's time that we hear the stories of people who suffer discrimination in other workplaces because of the color of their skin. The McCall Center is an educational and a civic organization. It is the heartbeat of the Black community. It is the natural place for these conversations to take place. And once we have these conversations, we need to develop action plans with timelines and outcome measures. We need to implement these action plans with all due haste. We need to ensure our voices are heard in the halls of decision making. Some, like Sissy, choose to run for office and serve. Others prefer to serve as public servants in government offices. Voter registration drives are critical, but we don't all need to have our own separate voter registration drive. The El Paso Links Incorporated has a voter registration program. Powered by People is organized by Beto O'Rourke, the largest voter registration program in the state of Texas. We can collaborate and have a voter registration table at the back of every function. There is no reason we cannot register people to vote at everything we do. And Black History Month is coming up, so we're going to be busy. Voter registration drives are critical. But our problem isn't that we don't have enough people registered to vote. Our problem is that people do not vote in this city. So we need to get people to the polls. But before we get them to the polls, we need to have educational sessions so that we can teach people what each race is. Who knows what the amount of the county's budget is? And Sissy, you be quiet. Do any of you know? Do any of you know what the job of the county commissioners are? Or the county judge? Do any of you know what the mayor does or the city council? No, you don't. I see a lot of people nodding their heads, but I'm going to tell you that you do not know. And I'm going to tell you do not know, not because you're not well educated or you don't interact with them. I'm going to tell you that you do not know because it's a myriad of responsibilities. There are regulatory responsibilities. They pass laws, ordinances. There are administrative responsibilities. There's a whole HR piece of it. There's environmental concerns. But people don't know. And so they are voting for people who are very nice people who come to activities and they get to meet, but they do not know whether or not those people are qualified to run a law firm, the largest law firm in the city. For example, the district attorney's office, to manage a multi-million-dollar budget, to deal with human resource issues. There's a lot that goes into being an elected official. There are people running for judge who have never managed a judicial docket, have never supervised employees. It is important that we have people that we don't just like, but that know what they're going to be able to do, have gotten the training and education to deal with it. Right now, we're having problems with the Walmart prosecution. And these are significant problems, and I'm gonna kind of step outside of this for a moment to point something out. It wasn't just people from Mexico and of Hispanic descent who were impacted by the Walmart shooting. Black people were involved too. And with the exception of one person, all the Black men who were involved were vilified in the media, and they were victimized as well. I'm just saying. So we need to educate people about what the elections are, what the offices are, and then have the candidates come and tell us why we should vote for them. But the people need the information. We need to educate the community about our history and our true history to prevent it from being erased. And we must prevent other people who do not know our history, because it is oral tradition, from telling our stories. For too long, I have seen the history of Black El Paso turned into a fairy tale. For example, El Paso may have been the first El Paso city to be segregated as to restaurants and hotel accommodations and shopping. But the history of informal redlining continued into the 1990s. Even now, I'm surprised when somebody tells me they live on the west side. I'm like, how'd that happen? Did you know that the Plaza Theater, which was refurbished with tax dollars, had a history of segregation? Not only segregation, but we could only go to the movies at the Plaza Theater one Sunday a month, and we had to sit in the balcony in the back. The city, the community foundation, the people who drove the refurbishing of the Plaza Theater with our tax dollars, to this day, have failed to apologize for the history. Integration. The schools in El Paso were not integrated until the 1990s. When Dana Petard and my brother and our little crew, the Coolies, Tony Nelson, when we all went to high school, there were probably 20 of us. We integrated Eastwood High School. People don't know that. I graduated in 1979. Most Black kids went to school at Bel Air, Andrus, Parkland, and Irvin. Now, I'm not here to make you comfortable. And I hope I haven't made you comfortable. I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to invite you. I'm here to call you to the great work that lies before us. I'm here asking you to look within yourselves and to open the doors, not just to the other social and community organizations that make up our family, but to the young voices. I'm 62 years old. I'm tired. I've been practicing law for over 30 years. It's time that, Olivia, come here. Come here, baby. Andrea, Deandra, come here. It's time, come here, baby. It's time we turn this work over to these.
Yes.
Yeah? It is the world that we claim to want to build and the work we want to do in the community is for these. It's time to not just invite them, but to let them run with their ideas, even if they fall on their faces. I don't care. Let them try. Thank you. Let them. On the national, on the state, on local levels, our community, other ethnic communities are under attack. But it is these young people that are going to carry the water for us into the next era. The work of the beloved community must begin with inclusion, with an invitation to the members of our excluded community to enter into the conversation. We have to be like Jesus, like the disciples. We have to go into the byways and highways and the low places and the high places and bring people in. That means we have to identify them. We have to locate them. The work of the beloved community must continue with listening to the issues that face those members of our excluded family. That means we have to put our own agendas and egos on the shelf and stop pushing people away. The work of the beloved community must result in measurable outcomes that are more than showing up at fairs and meetings and each other's banquets. That means that we who claim to be leaders must find resources to meet the needs of those who are in need. The work of the beloved community must move beyond this moment. It's got to build something for the future. That means we have to take a back seat. We have to let the young ones take initiative. We have to begin working together as organizations. And this site, this sacred space, is the site of the heartbeat of Black El Paso. So it has to begin here with us. Thank you.
Okay, here we go with the mic again. At this time, we will have a musical selection.
I don't think she saw this gray in my mustache when she called me up to it. No, no, ma'am. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment, hope for all I do. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. When I've
light when nights are long and cold. In sadness, you are the laughter that shadows on my fear. When I'm all alone, your hand is there to hold. You're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment over all I do. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. You are why I find pleasure in the simple things in life. You're the music in the meadows and the streams. The voices of my children, my family and my home. You're the source and fish of my highest dreams. My joy. All that's good and perfect comes from you. You're the heart of my contentment. Oh, I do. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. You are everything, everything. You're my joy in my sorrow. You're my hope for tomorrow. When I'm lonely, feeling sad, you are the lifter of my head. Oh, Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Oh, Jesus, you're the center of my joy. Jesus, you're the center of my
Thank you. Next, we will have door prizes with Miss Barbara Bird. And while we're waiting, point of order, can King Wright meet me at the podium? King.
Here comes the best part of the program.
One moment, please. We thank you for coming out and doing our pledge. Last year, we had you. This time, I asked your grandmother to do this. So thank you so very much.
All right, way to go, King. Yeah. Hey, anybody doesn't have a ticket? Yeah, raise your hand if you don't have a ticket. This is where you sound off. I was just stumbling. Yeah. You don't have a ticket, go. Put your hand up and get your ticket. That's what's up. Wow. How we doing? How we doing? We got tickets? Where the tickets at? They didn't pay. Okay, everybody be at peace. We got this. We got this. You got to do a little meditation, do a little yoga. We got this. Waiting on some tickets. Want to, on the behalf of McCall Neighborhood Center, where I got the opportunity, want to express my appreciation for everybody coming out this afternoon. It's a wonderful affair with beautiful people, community people. Yes. Okay, hold them up high. Hold them up high. We're getting ready to get out here. I know y'all want to see America's team play today, Pittsburgh Steelers. I know y'all do. Yeah, American team, Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. Get out. Team played last night. I know. Hey, I struck a nerve in here now. Yeah, struck a nerve, baby. You gotta open them up. Yeah. Let's get this place lively up in here. Yeah. This down. If you don't have a ticket, you might be in for the door prize next year. Okay, but we got to get this on. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's the first number right there. You want to do a Mr. Ceremony? Okay, I got this. All right, here's the first winner. Here's the first winner. Oh, what the hell? Yes, sister, one love. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Hey, 1627. 1627. You got it? Okay, thank you very much. 1641. 1641. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Right. We should get excited when we win. When we win. It's a celebration. 1664. Oh, how you doing, AKA? Happy Founders Day to you, sister. Thank you very much. Happy Founders Day. Happy Founders Day. Good to see you. All right. We got some more here, huh? All right. 1615. 1615. There, that's what's up. That's what's happening. There you go. There you go. 1615. I think so. 1768. 1768. Man, this must we breaking the record today. I've been to like 1,000 events. We never gave away this many door prizes. I'll tell you. I'll tell you, man. We have been shopping. Okay. 1620. 1620. All right. Happy Founders Day, Delta Sigma Theta. Happy Founders Day. All right. I think we're winding down, right, April? How we doing over there, sis? Okay. I might have called this one before. We'll call it again. Somebody might miss it. 1650, 1650. Going once, going twice, on the doors trace. Oh, congratulations. I like that lady right there. She bought a calendar. She bought a calendar when y'all did not. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable today. Yeah, I like uncomfortable. Yeah, it's good for the spirit. Yeah, it awakens you. Yes, yes, yes. 1704. 1704. Congratulations, my sister. Congratulations. Yeah, you bought a calendar too. Yeah, it's something about buying a calendar and winning. Yeah. If y'all didn't buy no calendar, y'all eat by yourself. Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Make you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. That's good. That's a good spirit, baby. Okay. In December. Yeah, brother. Yeah. 1744. 1744. 1744. 1611. 1611. Hey, what's going on, Tiny? Hey, that's just the famous right there. Hey, look here. Tiny made the wall of the McCall neighborhood center. We got that sister's picture up here. Go ahead, Tiny. Go ahead, my sister. All right.
I got it.
Big Mike.
I got
Big Mike. 1696. 1696. 1696. 1696. Yeah, come on up.
Just had it. Oh, it's right here. One more.
All right. All right. We wind it down, April. What we got?
You want the 1-1?
More? Okay. 1637. 1637.
1-1.
I'm sure glad that brother won, man.
Me too. You want the ticket?
Thank you.
Congratulations, Don. Appreciate you coming, brother. Always good to see you, man. All right. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go. I'm gonna hand this over back to the mistress of ceremony. Okay. 1675. 1670. Oh, another brother. Another brother. Hey, I need to tell you about Guy Wright in Kappa Alpha Psi. We got something that's called Guy Wright, brother. Yeah, we're gonna get that, brother. Yeah, yeah. We'll make you an astronaut. That's right. That's right. Last ticket.
presentation by Ms. Anna Howell.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I know you done heard his voice enough, but I don't stand alone. I stand with my president, so I would like for him to come back up here. It makes him feel good. This afternoon, first, I just want to say I'm impressed, and I thank all of you. I've been doing this a many years with Mr. Gregg, I know in the back. We've been doing this a few years, and it's always good to look out and see all the faces that took time out of their busy schedule to be right here with us. So if nobody else says thank you today, I say thank you to you. Thank you for taking your time out, because you didn't have to do it, but you did. So I say thank you. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge our singer. I've been hearing this young man for how many years now? About 30 years? About 30 years. Come on up, DeAndre. DeAndre never says no to us. When we invite him to sing, he's traveled with the Army singing. He's been on, what's that tour you was on? Soldier Show. He's been all over the place just singing, but when you hear him, you know why. You don't have to ask why.
That's right.
You do not have to ask why. And he's very, very talented, but he's very free with his time. He always is willing to give back to the community. So this is just, can't even say a big token, but a small token to say thank you for taking time out, for coming to be with us this evening. This young lady, I know her through her father. I used to volunteer at the VA clinic. And I used to call it the old folks corner. Because her father would be up there telling stories with the boiled eggs and telling his army stories and his heroes. But Attorney Davis, will you please come forward? I thank his father, her father, for bringing me and her together and meeting and over the years and interacting in the community. So I want to say thank you for taking time also to be with us. And our president has it real small.
You all know it's very hard to say no to GreggDDavis, right?
No.
I don't know whether all of you know, but we've been giving to the community along with this program for a lot of years. We no longer have the individual that took the ring and led. And he always had the MLK food drive.
That's right.
And he gave to a lot of businesses, centers, homes that needed the money and the food. And Mr. Carl Robinson led us to continue doing this over the years. But I feel that he's looking down upon us as we continue to do this. So this year we have chosen You Eat, I Eat.
All right.
This individual, I know for a fact, has fed a lot of individuals in this community, a lot of families that needed food, individuals that just stopped by and they just needed a plate of food. So I asked Mrs. Carruthers, would she come forward? We asked individuals that when they came here today, we didn't want any money because this is our way to say thank you to you. The meal, no, it's not a steak. We're working towards that, but no, it's not a steak. But we just want to say to you, continue what you're doing. It'll never be forgotten. People may not say thank you, and you may feel discouraged, but I can speak because I'm all over the place. They work me. Okay, but I enjoy it because I know that what I'm doing, I asked for a long time ago when I said, God, if you let me live, I'll serve your people. Yeah. So you keep doing that. You keep serving his people, and you'll be blessed day by day. Thank you so much. And on behalf of all these individuals here, they have bought canned goods and they're waiting out front for you in containers, and we'll help you any kind of way to transport them. Yes, you can.
So I just want to say first and foremost, to God be the glory. Okay. You know, yesterday I seen many faces out there when I received the Martin Luther King Humanitarian Award. And I must say, I am just filled with so much gratitude. You know, I am originally from New York City. I relocated to El Paso in 1987. See, most people don't know anything about me other than I serve the community. Okay, so when I relocated here, I worked at the formerly unknown Hilton Hotel. Now, like I said, I'm originally from New York City. And so when I relocated here, I didn't know that I had to go back to school to be licensed in my field. So from working on Wall Street, I went to cleaning hotel rooms, okay, because it truly did not matter to me, because what was important was being able to supply food, shelter, and a roof over my daughter's head. That was so very important. Received his job at the Border Patrol, I didn't stop. I continued to work. I worked so much till I thought about leaving, and then they offered me assistant manager's position in the restaurant. Luther King Day, and I live his dream. I honestly live his dream. I have people from all walks of life that support us, that volunteer for us. It's not a Black organization. It is a You Eat, I Eat community unity organization where we all make a difference together. And each and every one of you, you made a difference today with your food donation. So I want to thank you on behalf of myself, my volunteers, each and every recipient at the food bank. We want to thank you for your contribution, because guess what? It truly did make a difference, and it does. Thank you. And thank you to the Martin Luther King Jr. Committee for not awarding me the humanitarian award. Thank you.
Once again, I say thank you before I dismiss myself.
I like this mic better. We're at closing remarks, but before we do the closing remarks, I'd like to make a couple of announcements. We do have voters registration going on in the back, or if you want to call it the front.
It cut you off. No. Go ahead. The problem's still on. The problem's still on.
Also, we do have some charitable organizations out front that will be giving out handouts. Can you hear me? In the back, in the front. They will be giving out handouts. The names are on my phone. I hate when people send me stuff on my phone. They get modernized like this.
Matter of fact, these organizations, you know who you are. Can you start coming up front? I think United Way. I think we had the Opportunity Center. We have a couple more organizations. We appreciate the love. Appreciate what you do for the community. We appreciate you taking care of the underserved, my brother. The underserved. That's what's up. Yeah. What is that? Just themselves. Come on, sis. Come on up. Thank you.
Quick introduction, please, and your flyers will be out on the table.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I got cut off. Hello, and thank you so much for your attention.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your attention. My name is Anna Hay, and I'm with Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services, which is now called Estrella del Paso. So if you see Estrella, that's us. And there's some flyers out there about the services we offer. And then if any of you are donors to the CFC, which is the Combined Federal Campaign, it has all the information if you want to make Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services, or now Estrella del Paso, your selected United Way Combined Federal Campaign agency. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's just for the calendar too. Thank you.
Well, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arnold Naves. I'm here with United Way of El Paso County. As some of you may know, this year we have turned 100 years in our community. Thank you. And this means that for 100 years, we have been working to creating a thriving community where children can have access to education, where families can be healthy, and where individuals can reach financial stability. And we do this and more by connecting El Pasoans to the right programs and resources out there in the community. Today, as Anna said, if you are participating in the CFC Combined Campaign, please select United Way of El Paso County. If you all have donated before to United Way, I wanted to thank you because, as you may already know, you are impacting people's lives. And even if we might not see who we're helping, those who are getting help will never forget about the helping hand that they did receive. So thank you again, and we'll have some flyers at the back by the entrance. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Ramirez from El Paso Human Services. I'm specifically with the Youth Advisory Council, and I'm kind of nervous because my boss is right here watching me. But I'm going to let her say a little bit about El Paso Human Services, and then I will talk about my program, yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us. I was in sharing, just really quick, I'll be real quick, in sharing with my staff, Alex, Eupresa, and other folks out there. I was sharing how I was part of the integration. I attended Douglas Elementary School, so a part of the history. And so I was talking to them and they were really interested in the Black community and the impact, not only in the Black community, but the Hispanic, because we grew up as brothers and sisters. And we shared throughout the thing. And a lot of our Black members, or I mean, of the community, they spoke fluently in Spanish. So we shared in each other's culture. So I shared that with them, and they were very, right away, they came over here and spoke to Ms. Bird. And they had a tour of the center, McCall. And so our hope is to involve our youth. Like Alice mentioned, they work with, our program is mainly in the Northeast El Paso. And so that's why I want to also bring the legacy, to our younger youth. And so definitely. Okay, so thank you so much for having us. We do have flyers. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but we're available if you have any further questions. Thank you. Yes.
So for the kids, what we try to do is have a student government for the community for the kids, the 79924 area. So we want our kids, we want minorities to grow up and be people in life. We want them to be leaders that we can be. And so this organization helps our kids, help our youth, instead of getting involved in the negative stuff that we got into, the troublemaking.
Thank you. Now we will have closing remarks in this order. President, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. President, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And Mr. Gregg Davis, our president.
Ambassadors of Eta Phi Omega chapter, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Happy Founders Day. The ambassadors, Mrs. Tanish Swedenberg.
That was cool. Thank you so much. Greetings and thank you all for coming. Excuse my voice. I'm trying to get it back today. So I would like to say in closing, thank you all for coming out on today as we commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s amazing legacy and his commitment to unity. And just hearing those who came up earlier and was talking about the minorities in this community and looking at all the beautiful array of colors in this place today, it just shows all that hard work that Martin Luther King did is not in vain to be able to be here on today. And I also don't want to go without recognizing the significant contribution of our honorary member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, our soror, Coretta Scott King, a beacon and strength of activism as we celebrate 116 years as our Founders Day today. Truly inspired about the commitment to justice, equality, and service. So let us remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King when he says, "The time is always right to do what is right." May the spirit of unity and service inspire us to continue the journey towards equality and empowerment. So thank you to our honorees, to all those who came out tonight. Thank you to our legacies while we are here today. Thank you all for coming, and God bless.
Thank you, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. You might wonder really quick. I'd like to get into it a little bit. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. What did they sponsor? Did they bring some chairs here? Did they make copies? No. These organizations gave money. They gave financial support to make this event go on. I'm just telling it like it is. Yeah. Hey, they ain't got no door prizes. No. They wrote a check. So we appreciate you. Is the president for Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated available? Come on up here, Doc. Come on here, Doc. Do your thing, brother.
Nice sweater, man. 1906.
That's what we want to do.
Are you gonna see?
Good afternoon. I know you are cold in here because there's some ice cold brothers in here today. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. This is a wonderful event. This is my first time attending this event. Just a little bit of history here. I'm an individual who once got suspended from high school because my teacher said that Dr. King was not a friend of the South. He was an enemy of the South. And I demanded that she take that back. And she said, I would not take it back. But we had a little problem there, so I got suspended from school.
Did you hit her? I defend you for free.
I'm not a religious man, but I'm a spiritual man. But I know there's something in the Bible, when God said, when someone said, send me. And ever since I heard Dr. King, I said, send me. I want a raise of hand for those who say, when there's something out there, there's a need, send me. Raise your hand. Good, thank you. Dr. King said, we don't make history, we are history. So each and every day, I challenge each one of you all to go out there and be a beacon for the Apostle community. Make us proud. Make him proud. Mr. Scott said, today is not a day off. Today is a day on. Go out there in the community, serve the community. This past weekend, my brothers and I, we went out to Walmart and we was able to bless 56 families with groceries. We was able to raise $2,900. We're a small organization here, but we're very powerful. And to let you know how powerful we are, I'd like Brother Green share something, a little bit of history of this organization.
Good afternoon. This is rather impromptu, but Brother Wingo was here earlier. He was the individual who was instrumental with our El Paso raising the first $100,000 to the memorial. That was one of the most proudest days of my life, to sit there when they dedicated the Stone of Hope. If you have not been there, you have not been there. Think about if you were a Muslim.
Yes, yes.
One of the 5 pillars of Islam,
that's right,
is to go to Mecca, make at least one trip to Mecca.
Allahu Akbar.
The memorial of Stone of Hope is our Mecca.
Yes, it is.
It is our Mecca. Please go there. It is just fascinating to see that monument, that memorial. And I personally look at it from when the inception. It took us 26 years to build that memorial. And everyone thought of every excuse they could not for us to be able to build it. Every president that was involved came up with an excuse. Stevie Wonder sang that song, Happy Birthday, Martin Luther King, and that did a lot for us. They did not want the memorial to go on a tile basis. If you go to the memorial and stand on the Lincoln Memorial, look out at the Washington Memorial, you will see that our brother is on the tile basis, and he is not a president. He is not a previous president. Everything that could go wrong went wrong that weekend. A couple of days before, we had an earthquake in Washington, D.C. The memorial was the Washington Memorial was in scaffolding. Myself, Brother Hampton, and all of us sitting down, going down, getting our uniform. If you notice, we wore the same uniform that Brother Martin wore when he got his Nobel Peace Prize. And we walked in Constitution Hall dressed like that. But then the formal dedication of the memorial was canceled because of the hurricane coming through. But we got it done. You got it done. You contributed over $100,000 from this community, the first $100,000. And I thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
All right. We thank Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you very much for your contribution.
And now we're.
You good? You good?
Excuse me. And now I present to you our own President, Mr. GreggDDavis, for 5 minutes.
Reputation is everything. Hey, you know, hey, the people in the back, how y'all doing back there? Everybody's okay? Y'all hear me? All right. You know, first thing Maureen told me, she whispered to me about 5 minutes ago, she said, "You ain't gonna be too long, are you?" I said, "I could just put you at the end." But no, I ain't gonna be too long today. This is the day of service. This is the day of service. And you know, I'm part of the everyday people. I'm part of everyday people. I come from the grassroots community, and I'm a member, a life member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. And as I was traveling across the nation the last 10 years or so, since I've been a life member, a dedicated life member, we used to have this little thing in the NAACP that go like this. Everybody repeat after me. It said, "Fired up, ready to go. Fired up, ready to go." And that's the spirit of Dr. King. That's the spirit of Dr. King. And last month, we had the privilege as a chapter, as a unit 6175, we did a presentation on Ujamaa, cooperative economics. And that's what we're actually talking about today, the day of service, because cooperative economics is broad, it's broad. It's not just really one thing. Cooperative economics deals with feeding the poor, taking care of the underserved. It's sustaining the community, and it's supporting our very own African-American and minority businesses. So that's what's important. And as I say that today, feeding the poor, the McCall Neighborhood Center, on behalf of the McCall Neighborhood Center Board of Directors, we decided to give our donations to You Eat, I Eat. Even though she says it's not an African-American business, she's an African-American sister who's the CEO of it, and she feeds all people, which is very, 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 very important. And yes. And we talk about cooperative economics and sustaining businesses. For example, the McCall Neighborhood Center. We're self-sufficient, independent. We don't get any monies from the federal government, any monies from the state legislature, any money from the county, no money from the city. We are owned by you. You guys should take ownership of the McCall Neighborhood Center. Us, as the board of directors, we're just a tool. We're just a tool to manage the facility. But the community got to show ownership. Got to go ownership. So you got to support this place financially. Mr. Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright, stand up, my brother. This brother right here is tremendous. He's tremendous. He thought up the idea, he formulated the idea called the 50-50 Club. And it was a way for us to sustain ourselves as a legitimate part of the African American community. The idea was just to get 50 people to donate probably $50 a month to the support of the McCall Neighborhood Center. Because you know, at the McCall Neighborhood Center, as I tell people, it costs money to flush the toilets. It costs money to turn on the lights. Y'all always complaining it's either hot or cold in here. Always. We know that, but it costs money to cut those knobs and those dials. That's important. So membership is power. We say that in the NAACP, and it's true for the McCall Neighborhood Center also. So sign up, do your share, make a contribution. If it's not even a financial contribution, some type of contribution to keep this place going. It's very, 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 very important. Also, we have a fundraiser. We have a fundraiser. Y'all know, yeah, we have a fundraiser. This is our annual McCall Neighborhood Center fundraiser. And I'm so adamant about it because it's important. It's important. It raises funds for us to do things that we do in the community, have events like this. And it's only $10. $10. You spend $15 at 7-Eleven buying Milky Ways and potato chips. Look, we got to do better as a people. We got to do better as a people. We got to do better. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable, sister. Make them uncomfortable. We have to do this. I'm going to conclude, and this is very unusual for me. I'm going to conclude here in just a few seconds to tell y'all about something that's important that's going on in El Paso. I happen to be on a committee that we're in the beginning planning stages of revitalizing El Paso African American financial community. Yes, yes. We're going to start a walking tour. We did a tour earlier in the summer just to see how we're panning out of the African American Black Wall Street. Yes, we're going to go down to Segundo Barrio. We're going through parts of Pisano, parts of Piedras, that central part of El Paso. We're going to reconstruct new businesses, old businesses like Bill Park's Barbecue. Beef ribs, beef ribs. And we got many African-American businesses. I think we got about 60 businesses that we identified. And we're gonna bring this back to you guys. We're gonna make Estienne's Barbershop a living museum. A living museum. Yes, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this with people in the community, and we're going to ask for you guys' support because we need to do this. This in February, next month, Black History Month, next month, Black History Month. Yes. I know there's an event scheduled, the ICC, the Interclub Council, promoted an event that's going to happen on the 24th. Prior to that event, I'm going to tell y'all this, a lot of people don't know about this. We're going to have a precursor of the El Paso Black Wall Street tour. I was gonna say walking tour, but it's gonna be in February, so we ain't gonna walk. we don't know inclement weather, so we're gonna have some buses, some vans, and we need some help. I know we got a van in Shiloh Baptist Church. Somebody go to Shiloh. Who's Shiloh? Y'all in here? Shiloh, somebody go to Shiloh up in here. Okay, but we thank Shiloh Baptist Church for that. Shiloh Baptist Church is going to be a vanguard of this thing also. They're going to play a leading role along with Second Baptist Church and hopefully visitors and Mount Zion, of course. We're going to use our churches, but we need a couple more vans. If your organization, anybody has a couple more vans, we could use that so we can organize this tour. It's probably going to happen around between the 17th and the 19th of February. So be on the lookout for that. So really quick, as I wind down, I want to make a special presentation on the spirit of cooperative economics one more time, a special presentation. I want to call up to the microphone retired Judge Linda Yi Chu. She's a former judge of the 327th Judicial District, the former administrating judge for the for the Council of Judges. But I know her. Hey, I'm glad I don't know her as a judge, because okay, I'm a law-abiding citizen. So she never seen me. She never seen me. And I thank God for that. But I know her due to an organization that she's the CEO of, called the Alternative House. The Alternative House. And what I want to let y'all know, talking about contributions to the McCall Neighborhood Center, she's a top contributor to us. In the year of 2023, Judge Chu has given the McCall Neighborhood Center somewhere in excess of $10,000. $10,000. And we love her for that. So I just want to take this time, and she didn't know I was going to do this, but I want to give her this mic so she could tell us a little bit about the Alternative Center and things that she pleased to.
I am acutely aware that I'm the only thing standing between you and the food back there. So this organization was started by my late husband, and what we do is things like give money to the McCall Center, and it is my pleasure and my honor to be able to do this. So thank you all. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the kind of support we need. That's the kind of support we need. Thank you very much. So, reluctantly, I'm going to give this microphone back over to the mistress of ceremony so she can continue this program. It's almost close to 2 o'clock, and I know everybody wants to go home to see America's team, Pittsburgh Steelers, win this football game. So. Yeah. A lot of people giving money for calendars. It pays to make you uncomfortable. It pays. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
About two.
Okay, I am down to remarks, announcements. The first announcement, I can't hear myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The first announcement is the food is going to be to go. Stop at the table on your left. Get your food, 1 to-go box and 1 dessert. Oh yeah, and leave. You gotta leave here. We still have the people from the charitable organizations outside. We have voters registrations going on. Are there anybody that has some announcements, upcoming announcements? Announcements.
Early voting starts February 20th.
Oh, they're not gonna vote, but okay, February 20th.
But that's the problem.
Okay, let's finish the program as directed. Announcements.
Any of you who want to vote by mail, you've got to get that in. Now, some of you will have received something from Oscar Garfield. And if you get letters from Oscar Garfield, if you did, it included a vote by mail, but it was an accidental. What they attached was not good. It says November election only. You can get them, you can download them. I got them, the Democratic Party will hand you. Vote by mail application that is done every year. Those of you who are old enough, I think I am, but I didn't do it at the time. Maybe 82 almost. But you used to fill out one of that held by your driver's license. So that got renewed, but it didn't even get renewed. Now it's every year, everybody. Yeah. And we got to get it in, get in close to election, but the earlier you get it, you get that first mailing out. Do not just put your driver's license or your ID. Put your social security. They say or, but it's really and. Right. I can't tell you how many people when I walked the town of 300 homes did not know that. So even though it says or, put and, because you don't remember what you put so many years ago when you got your driver's license or your ID card. Please get that done. We need the voting out here. We need the Democratic Party, the Republican parties need to find out who's running locally, whatever you are, whatever red or blue, please get that voting, especially any of you who are caretakers for people, but who are still able to vote. I think, come talk to me, I can take your address, I'll mail you one, I'll send you one by email, you can print, whatever you want to do.
Thank you, Noah. Appreciate you. Noah Rosenbaum. Hey, Black El Paso Democrats, come on up, sister. Delta Sigma Theta, you guys got a little event coming up. Come on up. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, you guys got an event coming up. Come on up and ask your event.
Yes, my name is Sissy Bird. I'm the chair for the Black El Paso Democrats. On February the 10th, we are having our 38th annual Political Awareness and Awards Banquet. We are honoring the veterans and the veteran community this year. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep talking.
And so it is truly interesting and to be honoring the veterans of our community. And our theme this year is the essence of voting, past, present, and future. And also for the candidates who are in here, on February the 15th, we are having our candidates night. It is open to everyone. And just like they said earlier, learn about your candidates before you go vote. Yeah. Because let's face it, most of you, I'm not saying you're ignorant, but most of you don't even know what some of the judges do. Thank you very much.
Time, date, and location. Time, date, and location. That's all we need. Time, date, and location.
It's at the Wyndham Hotel, and if you want to see about tickets or anything, let me know.
Yes, thank you, sister. Delta Sigma Theta, come on up here, sisters. Time, date, and location.
And speaking about cooperative economics, Delta Sigma Theta, we do a gala every single year. And what it is to raise money for our scholarships. I think last year we gave about $9,000 in scholarships in this community. And we do it every year. But the way that we do that is through our fundraisers. This year the gala is February 10th, and it's going to be at Tuscany Halls. The amount is $70 per person. What's cool about it is it's a semi-formal event, so ladies will come kind of dressed in their finery, but we're going to wear sneakers. So you bling out your sneakers. You can wear bling out sneakers or whatever you want to, or you can buy them sparkly, or you could just come in your favorite Jordan kicks, however you want to do it. But one thing is that our feet won't hurt toward the end of the day. And I do have a flyer for those of you. We have a QR code so that if you would like to purchase tickets, you could do it here on the QR code, or we have hard tickets that are being sold right there from our Star line. So I appreciate you, and thank you for your support in advance.
Thank you, Delta Sigma Theta. Links Incorporated. Madam President, Links Incorporated.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Albe Maria Smart. I'm the president of El Paso, Texas chapter of Links Incorporated. We have two events coming up. February 17th, we're having a Black Care Health Fair. It's focusing on chronic kidney disease. Okay, it says Black Care, but if you're, blended and all that, but we're focusing on that group because it's a high incident of that occurring. It'll be free. It'll be at the EPCC Center from 9 to 1, Building B, and there'll be lots of, we have some speakers, we'll have some healthcare personnel, and we'll also have some very useful tools like blood pressure machines and so on. So please share that with your community. The next event is March 17th. We're going to have a Black Family Expo. That means youngins and all the range, and we're inviting the community to come out. We want to cover all different aspects of health, like men's health related to prostate cancer, related to children conditions. We have a pediatrician. We're going to have things related to like mental health, because it's so important. So those are our two events. And that also will be at the EPCC Center in Building B.
Which one?
Building B or A?
Both of them are Building B.
Viscount.
Viscount, yes, the one and only. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, Pastor Links, promoting healthy living. Healthy living, good food, good exercise. Everybody get some sleep. Drink some water. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, did you need to give a announcement concerning your Founders Day banquet? Madam Ambassador, do you want to say anything about your banquet? Madam Ambassador says it's all sold out, so don't y'all worry about it. We stay good. Okay, all right.
Thank you. There are no more announcements. I thank you all for coming. We certainly hope you have enjoyed yourselves. And at this time, we will have Mr. Cartwright come and bless the food.
I have two requests. One, I would like to ask you excuse for I would like to please excuse me for not making the third item for prayer and meditation. I was supposed to give the opening prayer, but because of health issues, I ran late. I started to pull the senior citizen thing on. In 78 days, I will celebrate my 90th birthday.